Hello to all of our brothers and sisters. I'm Reverend Michael Jenkins, President of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. On behalf of our Continental Director, Dr. Chung Shik Young, we bring you greetings and love from our true parents. We just returned from Korea and a glorious celebration of True Parents' birthday. Prime ministers and presidents, as well as key religious leaders throughout the world, gathered to assemble together for peace, to pray together, and to lift up the path of peace, being one centering on the blessed families and also the unity of all races and religions. True Parents celebrated their 89th birthday in Korean counting for father and 66th birthday for True Mother. In Korean counting means that we start with 1 year from the time of birth. It really was amazing to go together with the district directors of the North American movement. Our district directors have become very strong, inheriting the spirit and the tradition of the Korean regional directors, and they have been trusted by True Father to bring the fruits of True Father's investment of 34 years to the next level, centering on True Parents, True Family, and also Hyunjinim, who's guiding us now. We're very excited about the way the American movement is going forward. The district directors were able to go with me back to our spiritual roots. We were able to go to Champadong, the first church that True Parents established in Seoul. It was on the foundation of the church that was established in Busan after Father returned from North Korea, from the prison camp, and escaped and did his pilgrimage south. He came to Busan and formed a church there out of U.S. Army cardboard ration boxes, as well as building the walls out of mud and stone. Father built that humble church with just enough for a couple people to sit in, and it was there in that setting that he wrote the early Divine Principle book. He wrote it in pencil. Every chapter of the book was written by True Parents, by Father, and except for the last chapter, the chapter on the Second Coming. That was written by Reverend Wonpil Kim, who received Father's dictation and wrote as quickly as he could after Father went up on the mountain, prayed one night, came back down, and dictated the whole chapter, the last chapter of the Divine Principle on the Second Coming. Reverend Kim wrote down as closely as he could, word for word, what Father had said. The original text of the Divine Principle is kept in a special museum there in Champadong, where our first church of Seoul was created. The district directors, along with Bishop Kim and I, were able to go to that church. That's the place where Father really began so many things in the dispensation. Just with a handful of members in 1954, he incorporated the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity. That sign still hangs on the church there today, and it's a reminder of our spiritual roots. Our roots being that of a Christian heritage in which the vision of God's kingdom was really instilled in our True Parents based on the unity of all Christianity through the power of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit Association was formed. It was in that Champadong church that also Father prayed on the second floor and discovered more deeply than ever before the heart of Jesus. And weeping for hours and hours, Father cried for so long that many disciples and early members have testified that there were so many tears that the prayer room upstairs was covered with the tearful water, or the tears of our true Father. And those tears seeped down through the wood slats in the floor and even came down through the ceiling into the general sanctuary. There, many people thought that there was some leakage of some kind, only to go upstairs and find Father had been weeping through the night, understanding Jesus' heart. Our movement is rooted in the Judeo-Christian foundation, but it expands beyond that, centering on the fulfillment of True Parents' role as the completed providence of Adam and Eve, establishing a true family. If Adam and Eve had not fallen, then there could have been the establishment of True Parents in their family. God could have dwelled with them in such a way that the lineage of heaven would have been intact. Because of the fall, however, the lineage was broken. And through the misuse of love, Adam and Eve formed a family based on the influence of Lucifer, and the false lineage was created. Jesus came as the second Adam and fulfilled his responsibility, completing and perfecting himself, overcoming all temptations. However, because of the rejection of the chosen people, Jesus was not able to establish a true family upon the earth. And therefore, in this age, he anointed and chose Father Moon to really establish and complete the providence of establishing God's ideal, to be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. All these memories come back to us when we go to the early church, when we go to Champadang, and we prayed there with the district directors. We were amazed as we walked around to the back of the house, only to find a room in the back where Bishop Kim had lived with his aunt for 2 years while True Parents lived there. Well, this was years and years ago in the 60s, in which he was also a middle school student. We didn't know that Bishop Kim had that kind of experience where he joined our movement with his aunt and his family and grew up in the movement. That's why you can see that Father chose Bishop Kim to relate with Christianity. Somehow he's there, his spiritual root is right there in the Champadang Church, the founding place of the Holy Spirit Association. We had a tremendous experience in the whole travels to Korea, but especially we enjoyed going to the Champadang Church, which is pastored now by our senior pastor there, Reverend Hyung Jin Moon. You remember Hyung Jinim wrote the book Bald Man and a Strawberry, in which he testifies to his experience as a son of true parents, receiving Father's wisdom and love, and coming to study other world traditions, world religions. He came to understand Father's wisdom personally and was touched, and his life was transformed. That book is very moving, and also it really is a testimony to why Father anointed Hyung Jinim to be the central point through which all religions could unify. So Hyung Jinim was asked by True Father to start a megachurch there in Seoul. We went to the service on Saturday afternoon. We were overwhelmed. We took Pastor Paul Murray with us, who's a new member of the ACLC, and right away we noticed that Pastor Murray knew every one of the songs because Hyung Jinim and Yananim are using the praise music that is so common to all of the cutting-edge megachurches and this new movement within Christianity that is centering on the positive expression of the gospel and the whole faith that we can develop and we can solve our problems, we can build the kingdom. This kingdom music is so inspiring and so uplifting. As I mentioned, Reverend Murray knew all the words by heart. We were following along. The Two Rivers Choir there was so powerful, so professional, so uplifting. Then Yananim gave a very nice message that testified to the fact that they were with True Parents at breakfast, and Father gave kind words to them. Yananim was very inspired about Father's encouragement about building a church. And at that time, as they were leaving, she said to her husband, "Wow, wasn't it wonderful that Father gave us that encouragement?" Hyung Jinim said, "Of course it was wonderful, but we shouldn't be attached to just the words of praise or the words that come from anyone, because actually sometimes we have to go through experiences where people give us criticism, or what if Father tells us